Hey guys, welcome back to another video at Jensen's Reptiles. Today we're going to do a reptile room tour for February. And I would like to say a big thank you to anyone who's subscribed. The numbers are going up and that's really awesome that so many people are watching. So thanks for that. So we're going to go through all the animals today. I'm going to try and make this video a little bit quicker than my last one, which was around 40 minutes, which if anyone made it through the whole of that, congratulations. I struggled. So yeah, we're going to start off with the bearded dragon. So he is in a 4-foot enclosure. Forgive the grass being a bit smudgy, needs cleaning. There he is, he's just hanging out in his little hide today. That's Yoshi. He is a 10-year-old bearded dragon. I've had him since he was a baby. So this is his enclosure. He's got his UV light up here. His basking spots are over here. The back one isn't on, it comes on in the middle of the day to give him that kind of high heat of the afternoon. He's got a ceramic lamp for nighttime temperatures just in case it ever gets cold, which it really doesn't, that hardly ever comes on. So he is on a sand soil mixed substrate. He's got sandstone over here for basking, some cork which just helps keep his little nails clean, not clean, short even, and then his little hide over here, which he spends a fair amount of time either inside there or chilling out on top and on this little plant here as well. Yoshi's tank is 4 foot long. As I said, I do plan on moving him into a larger enclosure this year, just to give him a bit more space to climb and roam. He's not the most active of chaps in his vivarium, purely because he comes out every day, so most of the time when he's active, he's out with me, so he does have time to run around and do whatever he wants. But his enclosure could do with a upgrade soon. So yeah, that's Yoshi. If you have any questions about the enclosure or the way it's set up, feel free to ask me in the comments. That goes for any of the enclosures that I show you today. If there's anything at all that you want to know, I will reply to your comments as quickly as I can. So yeah, moving on, I think I'll show you Luna, the leopard gecko, next. So this is Luna's enclosure. I got a lot of feedback last time about the loose substrate in here. I've made a whole video about leopard gecko care and lighting and substrate, so if you're curious about any of that, feel free to go check it out. If you choose not to keep your gecko on loose substrate, that's absolutely fine, that's your choice. But as you can see, I do. I also feed her up on this sandstone block. You can see all the dusting powder there. That's just to avoid her taking in anything if she's a bit overzealous with her feeding, but impaction really isn't a risk if you've got the rest of your husbandry right. Anyway, enough of that. Luna's got a little hide over here that she can burrow down into, and she's got a humid hide over here, which she's currently inside. So there you go, you can just see her tail there. Not sure if she's feeling too social because she's about to shed, but she's graced us with her presence for a moment there. So that's Luna. She has an LED light for nighttime, and then all the way back up here she has her UV bulb. Again, any questions at all, do let me know. I will try and answer you as quickly as I can. Luna is currently in a 2-foot enclosure, which is really the bare minimum I would keep a leopard gecko in, and as soon as Yoshi gets his upgrade, she'll be moving into his enclosure. And then the viper geckos that I show you next will be moving into here, and they'll be getting a new custom background and kind of building it all up to the ceiling to make use of all this space up here. So I show you the viper geckos now and what they're currently living in, but there's one last little clip of Luna. She's in a bit of a funny mood because she's shedding, so I'm going to leave her alone. This is the viper gecko enclosure. This is the Exoterra habisphere. As I said, these guys will be moving into Luna's old enclosure so they can get the benefit of the UVB lighting in there. But currently any light they get is natural light from the window, which is behind me. You can see Shenzi, if the camera will focus. That's Shenzi in there, and Banzai is hiding somewhere else currently. So they do hide during the day, and they will come out kind of early evening, and that's when they'll start to hunt and then move around a bit. So during the day they're really chilled out and they just hang out wherever they please. I've just seen one of them's shed their back skin, so I'm going to pull that out and show you because it's pretty cool. You can see all the patterns on it. But that's their enclosure. They have a heat mat under here, which is controlled by a mat stat. That keeps the base of the tank warm, and they can burrow down into the substrate under those dino eggs there. So they've got a whole little burrow system under there. They've got some logs to climb on, but I really want to improve an enclosure for them because they're such interesting little animals, and because I don't handle them, I'd like them to have as much enrichment in their enclosure as possible. So their upgrade this year will be hopefully really good. I'm really excited about doing it anyway. I will pull out that little bit of skin and show you what that looks like. I mean, if you're interested, I'm interested, so I'll show you anyway. There we go. I'm probably the only one that's going to find this really cool, but when the viper geckos shed their skin, it retains a lot of their patternings, so when it dulls off, and you can kind of see all of the cool patterns on there. So you can see just next to my thumb, and that's the entire back of the gecko, how tiny they are. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, I'm probably going to show you the amphibians next, and then after that we'll move on onto the snakes. Right, so we're going to start the amphibians off with the African clawed frogs. This is the enclosure I have them in. This is a 125 litre dual aquarium, and I have 2 African clawed frogs in here. One of them is down there, and the other one is over here. They're both female, and they're kind of hilarious animals. I really enjoy them. So their tank is aquascaped. I tried to make it look somewhat like a riverbed. It's grown in really well, but I'm still having a few issues with algae, and I'm thinking of maybe redoing it at some point this year, pulling out all the plants, redoing the actual riverbed, so changing the sand to a kind of sandy dirt mixture to make sure that it will absorb any nutrients from leftover food, because one real big problem with these frogs is how messy they are. And it's not a problem. I mean, I'm happy to clean it, but there's a lot of food waste because they're not the best of hunters really, so when they eat their food it can be a lot left over. So I try and feed them by hand to make sure they're only getting what I give them, but if any pellets or anything I put in, a lot of it will sink down to the bottom and create quite a mess. But hopefully this year I'll gain some control over that one. So yeah, that's their setup. Next up we have the bumblebee toads, and one of them's out at the moment, so I'm just going to show you where he is quickly. He's just under that leaf. That's Pom, and Poco, his girlfriend, is in here somewhere, so I will maybe not get to see her. She's under that hide there at the moment, so if she comes out then great, but they're a little bit shy. So this is their enclosure. It has grown in better than I could have hoped for. I'm using the Arcadia Jungle Dawn light over the top of this, and the plants have just gone crazy, so I might trim this back. I might redo it at some point. Again, I'm going to try to do a bit of an overhaul of some of the enclosures this year. I'll take some of the plants from here, put them elsewhere, and just see what we end up with. But yeah, this is the bumblebee toads, and you can see little Pom is about to climb back into the hide there. And they have a little hide of sphagnum moss and a rock underneath which holds some heat, so they like to spend some time in there during the day, especially as it's winter at the moment and it's a little colder. They have their water bowl at the front here, which they use kind of as a pond. They like to sit in it, and yeah, not just for drinking. So that's that one. Next up I will show you the American tree frogs. So this is my American green tree frog enclosure. This is one of the others that will be getting an upgrade this year. I've just trimmed the lily back this morning because it was kind of taking up the entire place, and some of the leaves were dying, so hopefully it'll grow up again quickly. But for now you can see the frog's a little easier. There's Magnus there, and if I move this you can see Leif is chilling out on the liana up here, and then Einar is the big one on that leaf there. So these guys during the day will kind of go that olive colour, and then at night they will go bright green, which is really cool. These frogs are awesome. They are croaking constantly, which is pretty cool. It sounds like ducks quacking, so it's a bit of a funny sound to get used to, but they're really interesting to have around. So yeah, that's their enclosure. I'm definitely going to be doubling the size of this, at least this year, so they'll have a nice big enclosure to look forward to. While I'm here, I'm going to move on to the invertebrates, because one of them is in the tank right next door. So these two tanks here share the Exoterra dual canopy. The dual canopy contains slots for 2 UV light bulbs and 2 halogen basking lamps. So one of the basking lamps is there and the other is there. So moving on to this tank. This has got my Malaysian praying mantis in it. You can see him, he's transfixed on the frogs at the moment. So this is him here. He is absolutely obsessed with the frogs. So he's about a year old, so he's kind of most likely coming to the end of his time with me, which is a shame because I really have enjoyed raising him from a nymph. But you can see he's in a bamboo enclosure, and it's all been live planted for him, and he looks just like a bamboo leaf, so he camouflages really well in this enclosure. So whilst we're looking at the mantids, this is Phantom, my ghost mantis. You can just about see him. There he is. Last video I made, I was kind of talking about the orchid here, and the stems had died on it. So I've cut those back, and hopefully the leaves will continue to do well, and then some new stems will come up whenever they feel like it. I've had some locusts eating the leaves in here, which is really annoying, but there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. They're all gut fed before they're given to Phantom, but they still like to eat the leaves. So that's Phantom's enclosure. It's looking a bit boring at the moment, but he has what he needs in there, and hopefully the orchid will bloom again. Some point this year would be nice, but we'll see. So now I'm going to show you the tarantulas that I have. This is Erie. She's a Mexican red knee or Brachypelma smithi. She's about 5-year-old female. I'm not entirely sure of her age because she was mislabeled when I got her, but you can see she has just molted. She is super fluffy and bright at the moment. The last reptile room video I made, she was going a bit bald, and I thought that she wasn't in pre-molt, because usually she's about a year between each molt, and this was 9 months or so, but it was indeed pre-molt. Her abdomen turned black, and she molted. I have a time-lapse video of that if anyone's interested. It should be up on the channel already. But yeah, this is her enclosure. The ground is made of excavator clay and eco earth mixed together, and she has her little burrow down here, and she can get in it from the top there. She's got a plant in here which isn't doing very well at all because the lighting isn't adequate, so I'm most likely going to pull that out and replace it with something plastic. But she has her skull hide that she likes to hide inside sometimes, a little Rose of Jericho down here, and that's it really. That's Erie setup. So it hasn't changed for a while. I'm not sure if I will change it anytime soon, but if I see something cool, then we'll see how it goes. And here is the enclosure for my little Antilles pink toe, or Avicula versicolor. That's her little enclosure. It's just the Exoterra Nano with an LED strip bulb across the top. I'm not going to open it because she is in pre-molt and she's in that web up at the top there. And I'm expecting her to molt any time now, so I don't want to disturb her. But this is her water bowl. The light's a bit bright so you can't see it properly. It's just a bottle cap and in a cork log there, so she doesn't have to go right down to the floor if she doesn't want to. You can see she has a tunnel web going down there that goes all the way behind that piece of cork and comes out at the top. And I'm hoping at some point she will web up the cork itself, because that's why I put it in there, and she's not using it currently, so we'll see. But I think this is an upgrade from her home last time, so that's it. and next I will show you the scorpion. So this is my Asian forest scorpion setup. So his name is Zoidberg, and he is currently in his burrow. He'll be down there somewhere. He's got his water bowl over at the front here and a little bit of space to climb around, and the whole of that log on the underside is a burrow, and he uses that mainly. So this plant I put in for him has grown like crazy. Again, Arcadia Jungle Dawn, the best lights for plants, they're incredible. It went from being just this here to growing up this way and growing up here, and you can see up at the top I actually need to trim it back, because otherwise it's going to start pushing through the lid. So yeah, Zoidie has the Arcadia Jungle Dawn, as I said, and then he also has a red lamp just for heating, because he's in the coldest section of the house. So I just want to make sure that his tank is warm during the day. You can see it's 27 degrees at the moment, and his humidity could do with being a little bit higher, so I'm going to spray his tank down in just a sec. Zoidberg comes out mainly at night time, and he will usually sit and climb under here when the light goes off and take in any residual heat. So that's his enclosure though. I'm hoping the plant will grow some more and it'll look really nice and green in here. So now we're moving on to the snakes. I'm going to start with the colubrids, so corn snakes and the king snake. They've all had a few more decorations added to their enclosures to give them a little bit more cover and a light diffusion and such things. So this is Jack's enclosure. He's in a 3-foot pteropod. The filming's a bit awkward here because it's in the living room, but on the other side of a coffee table, so I'm kind of wedged in. But this is Jack in here. He's kind of curious, so he's most likely wondering if I'm about to feed him because it's feeding day tomorrow. But there he is. He's a Anery corn snake, and motley Anery even. That's his cold hide there. It's just a piece of cork bark. He's got some plant coverage. He has his log to climb on up here. Another log back here that he likes to make tunnels underneath. And then he has his hot hide over there, which is an Exoterra resin hide. Water bowl here, and heat source, ceramic heater, and LED lighting. Jack is a rescue snake. There he is. And he's an absolute angel. He's so sweet and just a lovely animal. He's very, very, very friendly. He's sometimes a little bit shy around the camera, but mostly he just wants to come say hello. But that's Jack's enclosure. Next up I'll show you Yuki and Ziggy, the other corn snakes that I have. And this is Yuki's enclosure. So Yuki is a little snow corn. I have the flash on because it's a little bit dark in here. And that's Yuki back there. So I'm not going to keep the light on her because she wants to be asleep right now. Yuki has her cold hide here. Her warm hide is the dinosaur eggs over there. She also has this bit of bark. You can see where the carpet is exposed here. That is where Yuki likes to sleep. She spends all of her time at the front of the enclosure. Super opportunistic if it means that she might get to come out or some food. But she's a really cool little snake. Super, super friendly corn snake. And for such a young one as well, she's really amazing to handle. Yuki again has the LED lighting, and at the back is her night light, which is just used for viewing. The lights are never left on all night. She has a branch here to climb up on, and yeah, so this is again a 2-foot enclosure. All of the corn snakes will be moved into 4-foot enclosures this year, and they'll be in a nice stack. So they will have lots and lots of climbing space and lots of room to stretch out. So don't worry about the enclosure sizes right at the moment. They are in the works of being made, so lots of improvements are on the way here. It's just a matter of time to get the space ready. So yeah, that is Yuki's enclosure, and next up I'll show you Ziggy. So this is Ziggy's enclosure. This is the Viv Exotic Reptile, which they kindly sent to me. He has his cold hide over here, water bowl, branch for climbing in and around. And he's got his hot hide over here, which he's currently inside. I'm going to get Ziggy out just for a moment so you can see him, because he shed recently and he's looking amazing. He's got LED lighting along the back here, and he has a heat mat underneath the enclosure. Again, all the corn snakes will be moving into their upgraded homes, hopefully soon. And he'll have a lot more space to climb. It's one thing I really like to give corn snakes, lots of climbing space. They're incredibly active, so that's definitely going to be a bonus. So I'll get Ziggy out and I'll show you. So this is Ziggy. He is a diffused corn snake, and you can see I have the flash on, so it's not the most accurate representation of his colour, but he's lovely and bright and shiny at the moment, so I thought I would show you. And there he is. He's a little bit of a shy guy, so he's going to want to go and hide again, but I just thought I'd let you see how pretty he is. So yeah, he's off to go hide. Next up I'll show you Nacho, who is the Mexican black king snake that I have here. So this is Nacho's enclosure. He is a little Mexican black king snake. There he is there. Again, I've got the flash on, so I don't want to stay in here too long. Here's a warm hide over here. Branches and logs to climb on, lots of foliage to hide in. Little skull that he likes to peek out of at the front. And a tiny little coconut hide, because the whimsy of having a small snake inside a coconut is kind of hilarious to me. But yeah, there's little Nacho. He's still just a tiny baby, so it's going to be really exciting to watch him grow. Forgive me if I'm sounding like I have a bit of a cold. I do. So I'm really trying to race through this video so I don't sound like I'm huffing and wheezing for too long. Next up I will show you the carpet python, and then we'll move on to the royals and the boas. So this is my juvenile carpet python enclosure. This is my Pawnee's house. You can see she's over in the hide there. My Pawnee is in shed at the moment, so I'm not going to disturb her. If she wants to come out, that'll be her own choice. But she has her cold hide over there, her warm hide here, which is filled with sphagnum moss at the moment to help her with any extra humidity while she's shedding. She has 2 liana vines and some other vines in here to climb on and to help her shed, and generally to enjoy being a snake. So she's very small at the moment. She's only, I think, about 5, maybe 6 months old now. So I'm handling her every day that, oh there she is, I'll come out to say hello. I'm handling her every day that I can, otherwise, other than feeding days or while she's in shed, and she's really taming out nicely, so I'm super proud of her. She had a bit of a interesting story behind her. We found her in a pet shop under some wood. She had escaped and she'd been lost for about 2 weeks, so she came home with me, and she's doing really well. She's a lovely animal, and I'm super thrilled to have her. So hopefully with regular handling and all of that, she'll grow out of the kind of that striking baby behavior of wanting to chomp on anything that moves. So far she's doing really well. I'm really proud of her. But yeah, this is her enclosure. She'll be moving into a bigger one as she grows, and I have that already, so when she's ready it's all hers. But yeah, for now this is her home, and she's doing really well. It's pretty typical that as I stop filming, my Pawneee comes out to see what's going on, so there she is now. You can see her colours have really dulled down, and she's a little bit edgy at the moment, and that's because she's going to shed soon, so I will leave her alone. She's just come out to enjoy some heat and the little spray down that I gave the tank just now. You can see she's absolutely beautiful. So next up we're going to go through the royal pythons. So this is Pixel's enclosure, and he is out basking at the moment on top of his hide. He has dulled down a lot in colour, so I'm predicting that he will go into shed very soon. He's sitting on top of his hot hide there, underneath his ceramic. Again, LED lighting in these enclosures. He has a nice big acacia log to climb on, and lots of vines out here as well. And then down here he has a cork hide as his cold hide. He also likes to sit inside that skull. That's Pixel's enclosure. It's 3 foot Viv Exotic Viva Plus. Very soon he'll be moving into a 4-foot enclosure like I have my 2 female royal pythons in. So I'm really looking forward to that for him, because he's a wonderfully active snake at night time. He loves to climb and explore, so I think that'll be really fun to have him in a larger enclosure. And this is Aki's enclosure. Aki is a pastel royal python. This is the 4-foot enclosure that I was saying about for Pixel to move into. So I will be getting another one of these, and Pixel will have some more space. So Aki is currently in her hide here. There she is. I'm not going to pull her out because anyone that's watching these videos regularly will know that Aki has been suffering from a flare-up of respiratory infection, and she just finished her course of antibiotics the other day. So I really want to leave her alone, and hopefully tomorrow she will feed. If I mess with her too much and I'm injecting her and all of that, she's probably not going to want to eat for me. So I'm hoping that if I just leave her be, then tomorrow she'll have a mouse and she'll feel a lot better. So Aki's got all of these branches to climb on. She has a network of branches here, a little tunnel going through to her cold hide over there, which is a big cork round. She also has this cork panel that she likes to hide underneath a lot, and lots of green cover so that she doesn't feel exposed. It's one thing with royal pythons, you can give them as much space as you want. Just make sure they have a lot of cover. They can be quite shy snakes, so it's nice to make sure that they don't feel scared at any point. Again, Aki has a ceramic lamp and LED lighting. She also has a strip of LED lighting at the front here with a green strip in the middle to give the enclosure a bit of a jungle feel, which doesn't show up well even on camera, but in person there is a green hue to the tank, and it's really nice. So that's Aki's home, and next I'll show you Haku, who has the exact same enclosure, just with a slightly different decor inside. So this is Haku's enclosure. As you can see, the exact same size, just a different decor inside. She has the same hide as Aki. She's got a water bowl here. That whole cork tube at the back is a tunnel which takes her over into her cold hide, which she's currently inside, but I will see if she wants to come out in a moment so you can see her. Haku also has branches to climb on, and this one that goes up pretty high, so she can climb about. She's a very active snake. Royals are wonderful at climbing and usually incredibly active at night, so it's nice to give them lots of space and things to climb on. I will show you Haku now so you can see her, because she's a beautiful animal, as are all of the animals here, but I know that she's a favourite of some of you, so I'll see if she is keen on coming out to say hello. So keen is not the word I would use to describe Haku wanting to come out right now. As you can see, she's balled up fairly tight, and she's hiding her head, so she's used to coming out in the evening when it's on her terms. So she was not impressed that I just pulled her out of her hide. I'm going to let her go back in. But you can see how beautiful she is. She has these two coloured scales. She's technically a pied python, but she is all white except for these two scales. So she's a beautiful little girl. I love her to bits. But that's Haku. She's going to go back over to her hide now and go back to sleep. So sorry for waking you, little one. But yeah, that's Haku's full enclosure. You can see by the size of her, she is definitely growing into it, and she's coming up on 3 years old now, so really starting to gain some size on her. She's probably going to be quite a large snake when she's done growing. But yeah, she has exactly the same setup as Aki, with the ceramic and the LEDs, and also the ones at the front here with the green. As I said, all that's different is just the decor. Off she goes. Next up, I'm going to show you the baby rainbow boa, and then my my big boa imperator, and then that's it. So this is Skittle's enclosure. Skittle is a Brazilian rainbow boa, a little baby. She's currently in this 35-litre rub because it holds humidity really well, and I'm waiting on a custom glass enclosure to be made for her. So she will have a lot more space as she grows. but for now this does the trick perfectly and it holds the humidity where I want it. She has a little hide over here, and another Exoterra one down there, but if I know Skittles, she's going to be under this piece of cork at the bottom here, so let me just see. And bingo, there she is. So, that is my Brazilian rainbow boa, and you can see why they have that name. Look at that iridescence on her. She's an absolutely stunning animal. I can see a little bit of heavy breathing there, so she's probably a little bit freaked out by the light and the fact that I took her hide off, so I'm just going to gently rest that back over her and she'll move it back down into shape. But yeah, that's her enclosure. You can see she has a bit of climbing height on this branch here if she wants to climb. She's a super friendly snake, and she likes to come out for handling, so she's handled every day unless feeding or shedding. So that's her enclosure, and next up I will show you my boa Zeke, and he'll be the last animal of the day. So, last enclosure of the day. This is Zeke's arboreal enclosure, and I say arboreal, it's absolutely pointless at the moment because I'm not taking advantage of all of this height. This is meant to be Mopani's enclosure as she gets a bit older, so I'm really looking for some branches to attach up here so that while Zeke's in here he can use them to climb, but currently I haven't had much luck. I live in the city, so it's difficult to find anything that I can actually use. A lot of the branches around here I can't use, so it's a bit annoying, but I'm sure I'll find something soon. But for now, this is Zeke's cold hide. It's just a collection of logs with lots of foliage attached in between, so it creates a nice dark spot for him, which he's currently inside. So there's Zeke there. He likes to hang out over here quite a lot. Again, I mean, some people have mentioned that his enclosure is quite small for him. I completely agree. And I'm not one for keeping animals in a small enclosure forever. He is definitely going to be moving into a custom enclosure this year, which will hopefully be minimum 6 foot long. I'm hoping for 8 foot though. So a nice 8 by 2 by 2, or 8 by 2 by 3 even. I would like some height on it as well. But for now, this is what he's in. He does come out every day, so he has lots of exercise. He's a wonderful snake. He's very friendly, and he likes to come and hang out with me a lot. So he is having the opportunity to stretch and move. And when he's not doing that, he's mainly sleeping or curled up in his hide. That's his warm hide over there with sphagnum moss inside to keep it slightly humid. And then all the way up there is his ceramic heater and LED lighting. He's only got the one panel at the back because I'm planning to install a UV floodlight in here to give him a UV rich zone. But yeah, that's Zeke, and that's his enclosure for now. So massive thank you to everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who likes the video. Thank you to everyone who's subscribing. I'm sorry that the video is a little bit rambly today and I sound a bit sick, so I'm gonna go rest my voice and hopefully make some more videos when it's better. So but keep requesting things that you want to see. I'm trying to stay on top of all of the requests for content, and I hope you're all enjoying the content. So I'm really glad that a lot of you have stuck around. So thanks very much guys. I hope you're having a really good day, and I'll see you soon with some more animals.